welcome to my space here. This is going to be my weekly relationship toolbox, and I'm titling this one Harmony Healing to go with my weekly Tarot Tuesday energy update on my blog and my extended reading here on YouTube. So if you want to check that out, you can be sure to do that. I like to kind of link them together and give you tips and tools for the guidance that I channel at the beginning of the week. So today I'm going to teach you how to charge yourself with the flame of spirit, and that quote actually comes from Paramahansa Yogananda, who is an ascended master that I work with closely. And and this is going to be a great way to, there's going to be lots of different facets to this practice, and it's going to be one of the most simple practices there ever was, because I like to keep it really simple. And if you don't know my transformation story, working out, and I was over 300 pounds, and moving was not my thing. Obviously, sitting on the couch was my favorite pastime. So what I really want to do, we're going to be working with the booty today. So this is going to be a really, like I said, very simple, easy practice. I encourage you to, this is going to be a self-pleasure practice where we're just going to create, like I said, charge yourself with the flame of spirit. So you're going to create some energy. And a lot of times we think, people are just given lots of energy, but I've had to create energy, and that's what a lot of us sometimes we use, I'm too tired, or I can't, or my schedule doesn't allow for it, or we don't create the time to create energy. So energy isn't something we do have an endless supply, but it's up to us to tap into that. We can either stay stuck in our lower based emotions of sadness, grief, doubt, worry, abandonment, rejection, wallowing in self-pity, or we can choose to, move our body. So that's what I'm going to try to help you today, to create pleasure. It's our responsibility to take care of our emotions. So to create peace in our bodies, to create joy, to create happiness, to create love, to create connection and well-being. That's not just going to spontaneously combust. We have to create those feelings. And so when we're stuck in those lower based emotions, if you're stuck in a state of sadness or pity or stuckness for more than a couple days, then you're really disempowering yourself. So really, how can you take action? And this is going to be the simplest way to help you take action. That's why I'm here today. That's why I'm showing up, is because just these simple little practices. I'm not one to go super hard. Do I love to run? Yes. Do I love to get a really good workout in? Yes, I do. But also sometimes, especially if you're just beginning too, if you're wanting to create more energy in your life, more vitality, more joy, more to create, and it helps to create your to help boost your sexuality, to boost your confidence, to help you feel really strong and secure. So that's what this practice is going to help you do today. And I invite you to come to this, a space that's just your own, maybe it's just your living room. Anyway, we're going to plant our feet firmly on the ground. I brought some tea because this has been a practice that I want to show you. This is getting me through the day most of the time. So it's how I begin my day. It's how I start my day. It's how I create energy so that I feel full of energy, full of vitality, so that I can get the things done that I need to get done, and so that I can feel really supported while doing it. So, and this is going to be great, especially if you're a mother, and especially women that are at home taking care of children, and even if they're schooling them, sometimes it can feel like you're doing it all alone. But spirit, and there's so many guides coming to me, so they want to remind you that you're not alone. And when you can create more presence for yourself, you can actually rely on the spiritual support of your guides to kind of bring you solutions when you're feeling really tired or you're feeling worn down. How can you create happiness? How can you do something that invigorates you? How can you do something that makes you feel good? And when you actually follow through and listen to that advice and take those steps to make yourself feel better, you'll feel really supported by the universe. And so, or God, or the angels, or your guides, whatever it is for you, you'll feel really supported by this energy that's surrounding you, and you'll feel really like you're not doing it alone anymore. You'll feel like, wow, I'm full of really lots of support. I feel really connected, and I feel really helped. And sometimes we can kind of wallow in this self-pity and we don't help ourselves. So I'm here to help you help yourself, because that was what I had to do. I had to help myself. I had to get myself up, and when I was feeling very stagnant, I had to create energy. This is one of my favorite ways to create energy. So I'm going to show you obviously how to do this, but if you're just doing it at home and you're creating it for a practice for yourself, turn on shuffle on your phone, listen to your favorite jams. It doesn't matter what it is. And you can think of this in two different perspectives. So we're just going to start here by planting our feet firmly on the ground and bringing our awareness to our feet, bringing our awareness to maybe like the hot mug that you're holding, bringing our awareness back to the present moment. And remember, especially working with children in that relationship and forming that relationship with our children, it's going to require us to be present. And you know how children have so much energy? We have that same energy within us. We just don't. We have just been, taught to neglect that part of ourselves, so, and we use excuses like I'm too tired, but really you have to create energy. When you're feeling tired, you have to make yourself feel, invigorated. When you're feeling sad and depressed, you have to make yourself feel happiness and joy, And a lot of times we put it on the dependence of our children sometimes to make us feel happiness or joy, or we put it on our partners to make us feel love or happiness or joy or connection, or we put it on, our substances, our foods, that, watching TV is a way to distract ourselves from, really sitting with ourselves and being present and recognizing what we're feeling and being here in the now. Because think about children, they don't bring the past into the future. And one of the things that's really a relationship block right now that I'm picking up for a lot of people is that they're dragging their past into the relationships in the now. And things that were happening in the past aren't necessarily happening now, but it's just triggering these long-held like wounds, these inner child wounds. And that was something that was brought up in my guidance this week, is really wanting to connect deeper on a deeper intimate emotional intimacy, like creating more emotional transparency in your relationships, being able to share your feelings and feeling safe enough to express your feelings, and being able to hold space for your partner's feelings. If they're feeling angry, if they're feeling triggered, how can you hold that center, hold that peace and not be triggered by their emotions that are affecting them maybe from the past, and seeing them as they're their own separate person. And your children too are their own separate person, having their own separate experiences. They're not experiencing life like you are. Even your children that are an extension of you are still not the same as you. And really getting to know them on a spiritual level and how you can help them, support them on an emotional level will help you deepen your relationship with your child, will help you deepen your relationship with your partner. But if we're avoiding our emotions or we're not tending to them, then we're going to deny them in our child when our child is reacting harshly, or our child's feeling sad, and we don't know how to hold the space for them without falling into our own sadness and feeling really depressed. And a lot of times as parents, especially as mothers, we're going to want to feel our feelings for our children, but really placing really strong boundaries. And when our child triggers our own emotions, how can we sit with our own emotions? How can we be present with our own emotions? How can we be at peace and accepting of our own emotions without, reacting from that emotion and creating more disharmony in our relationships, right? Whether we cause arguments or we cause fights, or we create like this disconnect from our child because we can't be with them through their emotions, so we distract them with like TV, or we distract them with food, or we distract them in any way to get them to stop feeling their emotions because their emotions are too much for us to handle, rather than allowing them to express their emotions fully in whatever way they need to, whether it need to be through crying or through stomping or through, taking a nap, whatever it is. Like teaching our children how to process their emotions. We can only do it and only show them how to do it when we learn how to do it for ourselves. So how can we come back to the present moment? And this will be a great practice for that. So in the morning, turn on your favorite music. I like to do this in front of the mirror. And like I said, we're just going to shake our butt. So, and try to not think of it as shaking your butt, because the motion I kind of want to get you to think of it on an energetic level, because there's a chakra, which is an energy center, and it's located at the base of your spine. So you have your root chakra, which is located at like flush with your spine, but then there's another chakra underneath your spine that connects you to Mother Earth. This is like your base chakra. So you can kind of think of it like a sewage system. And think of like our root chakra is all our fears, it's our doubts, our worries, our scarcity, our lack, so feeling really unsafe, feeling really unstable. And so a lot of times we can take our emotions out on our partners, or blame our partners for our unhappiness, or blame our partners for our, whatever it is, or for not feeling good about ourselves. And instead, we have to create those feelings for ourselves. So then we can, create, rather than being dependent on our partner to make us feel something, and then we expect them to make us feel a certain way, and then they don't, and then we're disappointed. How can we but how can we manage our emotions so that we are the creator of them, rather than being like distracted from them, or like, you know, we're not a victim to our emotions, you know, only unless we allow ourselves to be. If we choose to stay stuck there, then yeah, of course we're going to feel like a victim to our emotions. But once we realize we're the creator of them, and we can create any emotion we want, and we can come out of anger, we can come out of sadness, we can come out of frustration or unworthiness by creating emotions in the present moment, of building ourselves up with our thoughts. So while you're doing this and you're wagging your tail, so that's another way you can incorporate it into a fun and innocent way. So you can incorporate it into this way that's a very sexual or sensual practice to you, and you know, really feeling your butt shake. And it really does, if you're not used to doing this, and we're going to be doing this for a while, and I'll do this for a good probably like 20 minutes, just sitting here literally wagging my tail back and forth, and it's just like shaking your butt. And you have to think of your butt as not like something that's sexual, but as like this place where we store lots of energy. And think about how much all of us sit on our butts. You know, think if you have a desk job, this will be great for you, because you need to break up that energy. You know, this is one of the reasons I love to run. And I'm telling you right now, if you continue to do this and you continue to stay stationary, planted, engaging your core, shaking your, you know, wagging your tail back and forth, shaking your butt back and forth, no matter what sounds it makes, no matter how goofy or weird you feel, letting yourself shake, your butt will help you to, it will help you to just break up that energy. And then you'll feel really, I get the same effect. You'll get the same effect as going for a jog or going for a run. That's why I'm telling you, it's simple. So if you're like the least motivated person in the world right now and you have no energy to do anything, you can get up and stand and really just wag your tail. Like, wag your tail, shake your butt, and you can use it for this practice of like feeling really sexy in your body. But if you're not there yet and you're not feeling sexy in your body, you can use it as this practice to just move your energy. That's all you're doing, is we're charging ourselves with the flame of spirit. Like I was saying, I get the same effect from running. And running is how I create energy. And, you know, dancing is how I create energy. Doing this is how I create energy. Using my thoughts is how I create energy. So while we're in this space of actively moving, and we're breaking up the energy in our, like I said, in our butts, in our root chakra, in our hips, and we store a lot of energy in our hips. And this is actually a really good workout for your legs, because like I said, we're completely engaged here. This isn't just like a mindless flopping around. This is like you're wagging your tail. You're really like envisioning this connection from the base of your spine to the earth. Like you're opening up to this like beautiful support, this connection that helps you feel really safe, really secure in your body, really strong in your body. And from here you can, you know, move about your day and feel really strong and supported, right? Feel very connected, instead of like feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this all alone, I'm feeling so burdened, I'm feeling so tired, I'm feeling so worn out. And those thoughts and those negative thoughts that keep you in that loop, they keep you from actually taking action. And what your body or what your soul wants is you to take action. We can be slaves to our body. And that's kind of the passage that came with that quote from Charge Your Body with the Flame of Spirit, because what he was getting at is like you can end up becoming a slave to your body. And you can do anything your body wants to feel comfortable, and that means like relying on our old habits that are very toxic, or you know, that aren't serving us anymore. And instead of being a slave to your body and your habits, how can you create, you know, how can you charge your body with the flame of spirit? Because when you feel full of spirit, when you feel full of energy, think of spirit and God as energy. That's all it is. It's just energy, and it's this endless supply of it, and we all have access to it. Not a single one of us is limited from this in any way. It's just our mind that keeps us limiting, or it's those negative thought patterns. So this is a great way to get out of your head and think about it. Does your ego roar in the morning? Does your ego, as soon as you wake up, have you doing tons of shit to distract you from everything? Like, you know, it distracts you by going to your cigarette, going to, you know, the coffee, going to the food right away in the morning. Like, allowing yourself to kind of, when you wake up, can you create this space of connecting with that inner flame? Charge yourself with a flame of spirit so that you feel charged throughout your day. Just like we charge our phones, guys. We have to charge our bodies and our minds with our thoughts, with our movement. And even if you're not like an athlete, and you're not super flexible, and you're not like super, whatever, like you're not athletic. It doesn't matter. All you have to do is literally stand here in a stationary position and shake your hips, shake your booty, and that's all you have to do. Those are little steps you can take every single day that will help to charge you. And, if you're feeling lifeless, if you're feeling depleted, if you're feeling exhausted and tired, and this is taking a toll on your relationships, how can you take care of yourself? How can you schedule out time to charge yourself? Just like we don't really schedule time to charge our phones, but, think about it at night when you plug your phone in before bed, You're charging your phone because you want it ready for the next day. So in the morning, how can you charge yourself? How can you charge yourself with the flame of spirit? How can you feel really connected to your spirit? And you can do this through so many different ways. And my routine changes all the time. Like sometimes it's doing this for 20 minutes. Sometimes it's dancing more actively for 30 minutes. Sometimes it's going outside and going for a jog. Sometimes it's going out and going for a walk. Sometimes it's meditating. Sometimes it's journaling. But every day it's going to be different. And allowing yourself to be flexible, just connecting with your body first thing in the morning is so important because it gets you out of that ego. And that ego is like the slave. That's where you become a slave to your body, you become a slave to your habits. And then they keep you feeling bound and stuck, but you're never stuck, you're never bound. You are free, you are eternal, right? And when we connect to our spirit again, we remember, oh shit, we are eternal. We are, whoa, it's like a remembering. It's like all that's happening is that we're forgetting because we're listening to the ego in our mind. The ego chatter is not who you are. Those thoughts that you have about yourself all day long, they are not you. And so that can be kind of hard to discern. And when you come back to the present moment and you start to bring your awareness to your body, bring your awareness back to your body, it's like reeling it in like a fish. Every time you find yourself wandering in the mind and you're listening to these stories it's making up, how can you come back to the body? How can you feel sensations in your body? How can you jump up and down? How can you dance? How can you do some yoga? How can you stretch? How can you go for a run? How can you go for a walk? How can you do self-massage? How can you get out of your mind and back into your body? Because that's what we're truly seeking, is just this sense of support, right? This sense of connection. And this opening this chakra up, this base chakra, by shaking and wagging your tail, think of it, you could do this on the floor, crawling around like you're an animal, pretending you're an animal. That's one of my favorite things to do with my nephews, is to just crawl around and, pretend I'm an animal. And, you get the same effect, right? It's just channeling your emotions. So, that's just one of the ways I like to channel my emotions, is playing animals and, growling, allowing yourself to feel that power within yourself and allow yourself to feel free, And I like to do that a lot through animals. I just connect closely to animals, and you can really use their different spirit medicine to help you channel different emotions. So if you're feeling anger or frustrated, this is a great way. I'm already kind of sweating. It is kind of warm in here though, but like I'm saying, you can create you can create energy within yourself without having to work really hard for it. You can be really simple, and to me, that's the whole purpose of life, is living a really simple life, finding the pleasure in the most simple things. And I find so much pleasure literally in just doing this. Sometimes I find myself when I'm bored and I'm starting to spiral in my thoughts, how can I get up and just wag my tail, put on my tunes, and just, be with my body, whether it's, doing this or it's doing yoga, whatever it is. I just encourage you, and obviously that's part of my mission, is really teaching you how to have that relationship with yourself, because every relationship that we have with everyone else is a reflection of the one we have with ourselves. And it was just 11/11 yesterday, and that's kind of the concept of 11/11, is this energy of, we meet people to mirror ourselves to us so that we can learn more about ourselves, so that we can dive deeper. But if we're not willing to feel those emotions of sadness, and, don't bypass your emotions. If you're feeling sad and you're feeling, depressed, or you're feeling lonely, or you're feeling disconnected or unworthy, it's okay to feel those feelings too. But just know that if you're feeling them for an extended period of time, you're imprisoning yourself. You're doing it to yourself. So how can you create that change? You're wanting change in your life, you're wanting change in your relationships. If you're wanting more attention from your partner, if you want your partner to pay more attention to you, that's a clue that how can I pay more attention to myself? Once you start giving that attention to yourself, then it's going to reflect in your relationships. So, and it's really important that when we, our children are going to require us to have a lot of energy to take care of them. And if we don't, children are our mirrors as well. Just as much as our partners are our mirrors, our children are our mirrors. And they mirror us to us the wounds and the emotions in which we need to heal within ourselves. They teach us how to be more present. They reflect our presence to us, our innocence. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is not, like, shaking your butt is not sexual. The butt is not sexual in any way whatsoever. And when we can really, because what will happen is you might evoke a lot of shame if you're shaking your butt. And this could be due to ancestral patterns of, like, female, like, suppression, suppressing the sexuality, suppressing the feminine energy, suppressing, your body, and, you could just have a lot of shame around, your butt in general. You might have insecurities about your butt, and it's like, let all of that go here and really just focus on the energy. You're breaking up energy. That's all you're doing. And when you think of exercise in this form of, I'm raising my vibration, I'm making myself feel good, then you're approaching your exercise from a whole different state of mind, and you're going to reap different benefits. It's going to feel easeful. It's going to feel easy. It's going to feel like effortless, right? And so, meeting your exercise from this energy of play, and like, this is helping me. This is helping me feel better. Like, and you're doing it out of pure pleasure for yourself. You're not exercising to discipline yourself because you're too fat. You're not exercising to discipline yourself because you ate too many chips the night before, whatever it is, like, you're literally moving your body mindfully so that you feel good. It has nothing to do with how much you weigh or the number on the scale or what your body looks like from the outside. All that matters is that you're creating that energy within yourself, that energy that makes you feel powerful, the energy that makes you feel strong and empowered and brave and courageous and confident. That's what matters. So look at it from the inside out rather than the outside in. And the mission to be, how can I feel better in every moment? In every moment, how can I create joy for myself, peace, presence, connection? And every time I feel disconnected, how can I have compassion for myself? How can I help myself out of this situation by creating comfort, by creating security, by creating stability, and connecting with my body, letting my body know it's safe here? Because you have to remember that we store trauma in our bodies. So we can be walking around with trauma all the time, and that appears as like stress and tension and, aches and pains, and it turns into different diseases in our bodies. So when you can really come back to your body and form that relationship with your body, it's going to help you in all areas of your life, your health, and like your physical reality and your physical body will be affected. But if you can put your focus on the energetics, if you can place your focus on the energy of feeling good, if your only homework is to feel good, how can you make yourself feel good? How can you come back to the things you love? What did you love doing as a child? What makes you feel sexy? What makes you feel alive? What makes you feel rejuvenated, rested, at peace? Discovering more about yourself. And then you just learn how to provide those things for yourself. And then you can be more emotionally transparent. You can say, hey, this is who I am and this is what I need when you are in partnership, and you can express yourself more fully. You don't have to hide parts of yourself, and you can really feel at home, connected, secure, stable in your own being, in your own body. And that's super important, especially right now on Earth, because everything feels really unstable. The energy is very unstable. And so it is our duty, our job to create that inner stability, and that is what will begin to reflect in the external world, but not until we see it on the inside. So if you're feeling very chaotic within, or you're feeling very imbalanced within, how can you create some harmony? By, maybe you're too much in your mind. So maybe if you spend too much time in your mind and you're anxious and you're overthinking all the time, how can you come back to your body and balance that mind and body connection? If you're too much in your mind and you're not enough in your heart, you're not enough in your feelings, or maybe you're too much in your feelings and you're feeling depressed and you're feeling low and you're feeling, like I'm a victim to my emotions. Maybe you're feeling stuck or like a victim or you're trapped. Maybe you need to create more structure in your life. Maybe you need to be more disciplined, activate that more masculine energy and take action, right? So there's this balance. You got to find this balance between allowing yourself to feel your emotions, but don't get sucked into them and be stuck there for days, Take action. That's your masculine energy that encourages you, that motivates you, that says, come on, let's go, that creates that vitality. It's the sun, it's the light, it's the, think of think of your masculine energy like your inner sun. And I don't mean like the sun that shines, I mean like your sun, like your son, your little, like a little boy, right? Think of it like this. You know how little boys have so much energy, and sometimes you're just like amazed at like how much energy they have and you can't believe it, but that exists within you. So kind of think of your masculine energy as that little boy within yourself that's full of endless energy and that's brave and courageous and adventurous, you know. We have to kind of reconnect with that aspect of ourselves, and that's really connecting with our inner child. To me, the inner child is non-binary, so the inner child is very like, it expresses its masculine energy and it expresses its feminine energy, but in our society, we're taught at a very young age, to start separating ourselves from our masculine and feminine energies. And we start putting ourselves in these categories based on like gender roles, right? So letting go of these gender roles, like knowing a man can be sensitive and kind while also being very strong, and that a woman can be very strong and very powerful while also being very sensitive and soft and kind, you know, like we can have both, but when we deny one or the other, we're going to feel really imbalanced, right? So when we can create that balance by, you know, moving through our emotions and creating that structure for ourselves, creating that security for ourselves, and we really balance our inner masculine and feminine energies, and we feel very balanced. And then we actually find that through that connection, that balanced energy, we are also, it's like that threesome with God, and you're kind of like, you're always infinitely supplied and guided and supported by the divine. And so then you feel really full of vitality. You feel really full of, because you are full, you're whole, you're complete now, right? Whereas before you're like feeling really depleted and then like sucking your energy to make you feel really full of like people, or feel really full of validation, or feel really full of love or success, or feel really full of other material things. But really what we're seeking is that fullness within, that feeling full within, feeling whole and complete within. And we try to complete ourselves in the external world. Like, don't get caught up in this idea that like, once I have the perfect partner, then I'll be happy and feel love. Once I have this much money in my bank account, then I'll feel secure and I'll feel, you know, valuable. Once I get this promotion, then I'll feel successful enough. I'll feel like I've achieved enough. You know, don't get stuck in, that's a trap. You have to remember that the mind is a trap. It was designed that way on purpose, you know, but the heart and your consciousness is designed as, you know, it's expansiveness, it's complete liberation. So when you reconnect to that inner flame, to, you know, that connection to spirit, then you're boundless, and you know that, you know, you are more than just your body, you're more than just your mind, you're more than just your emotions. You're whole, you are the light. So even when your body ceases to exist, you will still go on, because you are spirit. You are pure spirit. We just forget. So I hope this helps to remind you to come back to your spirit. We're still, you know, wagging our tails here, shaking our booties, you know, and I'm telling you, this is the most simple and easy practice that you can incorporate to your daily routine that will help you to get your heart rate up just a little bit. Like I said, it kind of evokes the same energy of going for a jog or going for like a power walk. So if you're feeling really stationary and you don't feel like doing anything, this will be the perfect practice for you. Like I said, still making sure we're engaging the core, connecting to the legs, engaging the legs, and it will give you a good workout while also helping you to energetically protect yourself so that you feel really stable and secure from the inside out. And that's what you'll begin to reflect in the world. And once we see harmony within ourselves, guys, that's when we see harmony in the world. You know, there's always going to be disharmony in the world. That's the beauty of the light and the dark, of the chaos, the contrast. That is what evokes us to come back to our remembering of that we are the light. And nothing outside of us can disturb our inner peace. Nothing, you know. So, or disrupt that connection, because, you know, disrupt that connection from God, from your eternal self. Nothing can disrupt that. Nothing except your own ego. So check your ego at the door and come back into your body. Feel really good in your body. Create pleasure. And then when you're feeling really good, you're going to want other people to feel good, you know, and then people are going to feel good in your presence too. Like, they'll feel your energy, they'll feel your vibration. So when you're feeling very loving towards yourself, you know, that's how you're going to attract people that are going to be very loving to you. So pay attention to your body, pay attention to its signals. What is it asking from you, and how can you take action on it while also being very gentle? You don't have to do it hard, you don't have to do it rough, just do it gently and simply, and That's what to me will come back to you every time. Every time, just come back to the simplest thing. What is the simple thing? The mind likes to complicate, the ego likes to complicate, it likes to talk you out of things, but what's the simplest thing you can do to make yourself feel good? So I hope this was helpful for you. I hope it was healing for you. I do offer my own personalized energetic wellness workouts where I would work with your highest self to create this this energetic mindful movement sequence for you to forever keep based off your 7 favorite songs to help you with connecting with each of your chakras. You can find that information below, which I'll leave there, or you can follow me on Instagram and message me via DM there. So I hope this was, like I said, helpful for you. I hope it was healing for you. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'm sending you so much love. Take care. Be kind to your body.